It was another date night that the insurance company paid for, that we got to sit there and have a refereed connection section where if it wasn't going well, we both felt safe to say the things that we needed to say to grow our connection closer. Let's talk about relating habits. So 3 relationships that I call out that we need to establish some habits around to grow our capacity. Marital. So anybody married in here? Few of us. All right. Half of us. If you're not married, don't tune out right now, because talking with Angie about that back there, about how important this is. And how many of you guys do date nights, right? Like, we always wanted to do date nights, and then the babysitter, and we move a lot, so we have to like reestablish our network everywhere we go. And then like my pastor is like, hey, why don't you go on a date every week on the same day and have the same babysitter come at the exact same time? I'm like, oh my gosh, I do that in every other area of my life except date night. Duh. So if you needed to hear that, that's pretty freaking obvious, but it works pretty freaking good. Counseling. But let's talk about this for a minute, right? Guys, for whatever reason, may not love the idea of going to counseling. Women are like, yes, someone's going to listen to me cry for an hour. Guys do it too. All right, here's my sale. Like, I'm not a counselor, but let me sell you on counseling. This is what got me into counseling, which has been amazing, by the way. It's coaching that your insurance plan pays for if you go to the right one. Anyone ever got in an argument with their spouse? Nobody? Never? Okay. Whew. All right, then this isn't going to apply. But let's just say someday you do get into an argument with your spouse. Who was right in the argument? Me. Yeah, me was. Did your spouse think you were right? Hence the definition of an argument.
If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button below so that you know every time I upload a new video, so you can be encouraged and equipped to build your best life.
So what is counseling? Counseling is I'm going to pay some dude or some gal to sit there, and I'm right. So obviously they're going to agree with me and tell my spouse that I'm right, right? Like, to me, I'm like, well, of course. Why wouldn't I go to counseling? I'm like, Tabitha's going to know after he agrees with me. So we're going to get this, right? So that tricked me to get in the door. And that's obviously not what counseling is. What I found out was going to counseling with my wife, whether something was wrong that we were trying to fix or whether something was good and we wanted it to get to great, it was another date night that the insurance company paid for, that we got to sit there and have a refereed connection section where if it wasn't going well, we both felt safe to say the things that we needed to say to grow our connection closer. And if we weren't like engaging or like he was professionally trained to ask the questions to help, and he was horrible. He wasn't even that good at all anyways. Well, like, just the fact that he was there, we had a specific time we had to show up because we were paying money for it. And if the conversation died, he would ask a good question to keep it going. And couple that with a date night, whew, that marriage is on fire. That's going the right direction right there. Road trips, last thing, road trips are where we do some of our biggest planning and best planning for our future. We dream because we're locked in a car with that person for 5 hours. The kids got the AirPods in and watching their iPad there. And we get to just dream together about where we're headed. And when you dream with someone that you're married to, that builds a ton of capacity.